Grace and peace, everybody. We back up in the building. Hopefully, you all are having a wonderful Thursday. You know, I am hearing my voice coming through another speaker. There we go. Problem resolved. Grace and peace, everybody. Happy Thankful Thursday to you all. Hopefully, you're having a great Thursday and a wonderful pre-Good Friday Eve, if you will. I'm looking forward to celebrating Good Friday on tomorrow, and of course, Resurrection Sunday this coming Sunday. If you do, it's Happy Monday to you as well. Shout out to everybody. So I wanted to jump on today because I will not be able to live stream this evening. So I said I would take some of the topics that I had kind of seen, I thought would be good to do a quick lunchtime, shout out a little lunchtime foray. So I want to see what y'all think about it. Let me know what you think. Comment down below, all that kind of good jazz like that. Let's get at it. Let's get active because I got a couple things and I don't want to be super long. So we've been talking about this. Oh, real quick, hold on. Just shout out to my people, man. Shout out to your folks up in here. Good to see you. Future, always good to see you. Who else we got up in the building? Mikey up in here. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get some memberships out here. I said I was gonna do that yesterday. Let's go ahead and get those out there before I forget, because your boy sometimes forgets. I'm going to get the memberships out there to the people. Thank you to everybody who supported the channel last month. It was a fantastic month. The month of March was fantastic. We marched in strong. We ended it strong. Let's do it again this month. So let's go ahead and get these members up in here. I'm trying to get up to 300 members, which I think is crazy. I've never thought I would get that far. I got like 270 and some change. So now let me just go ahead and get some free memberships out. Y'all going to join? Feel free. Welcome to all the new members. Shout out to y'all. All right, let's get at it. So y'all, I knew this was going to happen, man. I'm going to start calling these segments. Jason called it. I called it. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen, Melinda. I knew it was going to happen. Well, Jason, what are you talking about? I knew when Tiffany Henyard came to Georgia, she was going to have problems. Georgia got problems. Well, look, we got our Southern problems. You know what I'm saying? We got problems over here. But we know carpetbaggery when we see it. We know carpetbaggery. And Tiffany Henyard is giving carpetbaggery energy. And look, lo and behold, she done got caught. So you know that she was the mayor of Dalton, Illinois, and she lost the race and immediately moved here to Georgia. Well, what she had done was she had already secured a rental here in Georgia so that she can claim residency. Well, the problem is she claimed residency the day after she lost the race in Dalton. She was still employed in Dalton. So you can't be the mayor of a town 700 and some change miles away and claim to live in Georgia. You can't do that. And so now the rumor is that she's, well, not the rumor is, I'm sorry. Now they're starting to look into this because she qualified. I don't even like using the word qualified. I don't think she qualified because she truly isn't a Georgia resident. So she can't qualify to be to run. Anyway, she's trying to get on the Fulton County Commission. And y'all know Fulton County Commission is a multi-billion-dollar entity. I mean, they fund a lot of stuff. And boy, can you imagine what kind of chaos she could wreak if she had access to that. Now, of course, there's some checks and balances, but there's a lot of mess that happens on the Fulton County Commission. So she wanted to be on the Fulton County Commission, and lo and behold, Georgia is saying not so quick. So let me bring this in. Shout out to Fox 11 News. Let's go ahead. Fox News, I'm sorry. Let's go.
To discuss candidate Tiffany Henyard. The Fulton County Board of Elections is meeting to discuss candidate Tiffany Henyard's qualifications for the May primary. It's a story we've been on top of here. Angelique Proctor in Fairburn with the afternoon's latest developments. Angelique?
Well, good afternoon to you, Tom. We are here at the Fulton County Board of Elections hub. They actually had a meeting this afternoon and made a decision to look into the residency of this very controversial candidate. She is Tiffany Henyard, and like you said, we have done stories on her before. She was dubbed America's worst mayor by News.
America's worst mayor is crazy work. That's some crazy work, man. Where's my crazy work hoodie? I need to get that one. That's crazy work. But yo, I mean, it's real. It was real. She was a diabolical mayor, and now she is here in Georgia. And I don't know how she left from Dalton. Somebody asked, how does she go from being a Democrat in Illinois to a Republican here in Georgia? That's that carpetbaggery behavior. That's what I'm talking about. That's some carpetbaggery right there. All right, let's finish this up.
week in other publications. She is quite charismatic, the former mayor of Dalton, Illinois, where she lost her re-election bid after allegations of lavish spending. Now, she immediately moved to Atlanta. She has since qualified to become a Fulton County commissioner here.
It's funny because somebody, as soon as she left from Dalton, I'm sorry, she had not even left from Dalton. There's a person in Dalton. Shout out to this person. They know who she knows who she is. She sent me all of this information about Tiffany Henyard way back last year. Last year, I knew exactly where she was moving to here in Georgia. And I didn't want to say anything because I wasn't certain of it. And I just want to always confirm. But it's funny because I've seen this picture before. Shout out to that person. That person knows exactly who they are. They're a real one, boy. She was doing some real research. She had gotten me all of this information before, and it's crazy because I'm like, yo, I saw this before. Okay, let's go.
Interested in representing District 5 that Marvin Arrington held for so long. But the chair of the Fulton County Board of Elections says two electors and members of the public have raised questions about her residency. Now, Henyard told Fulton County officials she has rented a house in the Chattering Springs subdivision in the southern part of the county.
We have seen a lease for May 1st, 2025. And on that same date, she was also still the mayor of a city in Illinois.
So that's the problem right there. I don't know why they even need to go any further. To me, I think the hearing part, all that kind of stuff is the waste of time. You know that she was the mayor of Dalton. She was still the mayor of Dalton. And she was claiming residency here in Georgia. Those two things don't match. Bada boom, bada bing, get out of here. I hate that they're going to have to do a hearing and waste legal fees. And Tiffany's going to fight it. She's going to fight it just to waste time. Again, I'm not a Democrat, but there is no Republican running. So the lady who qualifies as the Democrat candidate, why does she need to campaign and fight against Tiffany Henyard as the Republican when Tiffany Henyard ain't going to win? She already starting off in the negative. She already starting off like this. And if this is the way she's going to lead her political career here in Georgia, it's not going to last long. Or is she going to be a podunk, secretary in some little do nothing town? That's going to be about it. She's not going to get. Look, we are not fools down here in Georgia. Okay. We might like our lemon pepper wings.
We'll ask our attorney first to explain what the law is with regarding to determine if the Board of Superintendents can challenge. At the time that she gave us the lease with a resident in Fulton County on May 1st, 2025. At that same time, she was also living in and a mayor in Illinois and also a supervisor of a township in Illinois.
She can't do that.
So that is the question. How can you live in Fulton County and be a mayor in Illinois at the same time on the same day? Those are questions that this board will now hope to answer. They have actually decided to have a residency hearing in April next week, next Thursday, April 9th. And at that time, they are expecting Henyard to come forward and explain exactly what all of this is about.
What a waste of time. What a waste of resources. And does Tiffany Henyard think that she's going to engender good feelings from the people of Fulton County when they realize that they're wasting Fulton County resources fighting this, when she could just lay low for another 2 years and establish herself? Like do some little pseudo campaigning, get out there and let some people know who you are, join some organizations, be seen out there in the streets. But now the people are now going to know you for this. This is their introduction to you, is you being the shady, good for nothing mayor of Dalton. And now you're trying to be the shady, good for nothing, false resident commissioner here in Atlanta, South Fulton. Ma'am, again, Georgians, we're not stupid. This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing. Shout out.
We did also hear that it takes more than just where you live. It's also where you are registered to vote. Listen now to how she went about registering to vote here in Fulton County.
How did we receive her registration?
She registered through the online voter registration system. She applied for her Georgia driver's license February 26, 2026, and she registered February 27, 2026.
So the attorney says you have to have residency for 1 year before you take office. If she were to win this race, she would not take office until January of 2027. But there are a lot of questions before we get to that. And there are questions that hopefully will be answered next week when they have.
But why do we want, again, Fulton County residents, there are a lot of things, but they're not fools. This right here, I'm sorry. And she's going to run as a Republican. Fulton County is extremely blue. I want it to turn purple. I want it to turn red. But at the current moment, it's extremely blue. There's no way in the world she's going to win this. So why drag Fulton? Again, I really hope Fulton County people are paying attention to this. This is resources in the economy that we're in that are being wasted and squandered fighting this case when the woman just get out of the race. You don't qualify. You don't. You're not a resident. It's end of the day, all these little shenanigans and legalese and lyrical gymnastics that we're going to do, ma'am, you're not a resident. Hit the road. But again, she wants to swoop in and let's just pretend that she swoops in and becomes a commissioner of Fulton County. She's done nothing here in Fulton County. She's done nothing to let the people know who she is. So these people, she's never going to be boots on the ground. She's never going to be shaking hands and kissing babies, or kissing babies and shaking hands. Either one. She's never going to do that. So it's such a waste. Okay, let's go.
This residency hearing. Another thing that they talked about today is that they want to use their subpoena power to get lots of documents, not only to see her lease, but to find out about homestead exemption and to find out about utilities, when she may have had those turned on, and exactly what is going on here as it relates to her residency. I should also mention that she has been a Democrat for all of her elected life, but she has come to Fulton County and plans to run for District 5 as a Republican.
Again, there has to be, I understand, there's the legality aspect of it. But my goodness, in the morning, like no Republican is standing by and supporting her. So why drag Republicans into the mix? Why not run as an independent? Why not run as a libertarian? Why bring Republican into it and now as if Republicans support your shenanigans? Whether you like them or not, y'all got to admit, no Republican is rocking with her. So this is an affront to the system and trying to take advantage of the system. And I'm sorry, Fulton County, I know she's not going to win, but the fact that she's even involved and even considered, because that's going to give her the fact that she's going to be considered and they're going to allow her, even if they say, hey, we're going to let her run and she loses, that still gives her some level of notoriety and some level of veracity in the fact that she was able to run in the midst of all of this shenanigans, carpet bagging, all the shenanigans with the whether she was still a resident. Well, she still was employed in Dalton, that we know. Whether she was a resident of Illinois is not the question. She was still employed there as the mayor. All of that, and then they're going to allow her to run. They're going to give her a green stamp to go on the next time she runs. And that's just wicked. But anyway, all right, let's go.
Tom?
Yeah, Angelique, you're so good at sort of contextualizing the implications of races like this, elections like this. How important is this district that she is running in? And then what about the partisan split there? Do they normally vote overwhelmingly one way or the other?
Well, this is District 5. This is a district in South Fulton. It's been overly Democratic. Marvin Arrington Jr., the attorney and son of Marvin Arrington Sr., who was on the Atlanta City Council for many, many years, his son has had this position and has represented this area, which has been a Democratic area. Now, there are already 4 Democratic candidates in this race. She has decided to run as a Republican. So that would be very interesting because she, in effect, becomes the only Republican in the race.
Why am I muted? Who muted me? Y'all, hold on. Let me get rid of editor Jason. Boy, get out of here. I muted myself. Oh, man, I'm firing. Hold on. I'm putting myself in 0-second timeout, y'all. Y'all, I was cooking too. I was talking. Doggone it. Dang it. And I had gotten better at doing that, man. Oh, change the hat. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, that was a Jason that don't know how to hit the mute button. Dang. All right. So what I was saying was there are 4 Democrats running, and they have their Democrat primary coming up at the end of May. Whoever wins that Democrat primary will run against Tiffany Henyard in November. The problem is Tiffany Henyard shouldn't be running. So the Democrat candidate, as much as I don't support Democrats, tacitly would win the primary because there's only 4 Democrats running and no Republican. Tiffany Henyard coming in as a Republican is forcing that person to campaign more, waste resources, waste time, all that kind of stuff like that till November when they're still going to win and beat her. So it's such a waste of time. And look, again, I don't rock with Democrats, but that's a waste. Now, I do wish that, this very blue Fulton County would turn purple. Definitely wish it would turn red. And maybe that could happen in the future, but it's not going to happen with Tiffany Henyard. That's for sure. It's not going to happen with Tiffany Henyard. That's just a waste. That's just wasting of resources. And I don't fully understand why we can't just say that. Because I guarantee you what's going to probably come up, and I think the hearing is next week on the 8th. And I'm going to try or the 9th. I'm going to try my best to, if they broadcast it, I'll live stream it. I'm going to be out of town with my family, but if I'm able to, I'm going to try to stream it. But my point is, I guarantee you they're going to bring up the fact that she's a Republican, quote unquote Republican, and they don't want to look like they're being partisan toward Democrats. And that's why they should let her, even though she doesn't qualify. I bet you that's what's going to happen. If it happens before then, I will make sure I let y'all know as well. I'm pretty sure what's going to happen is they're going to say, well, she doesn't really qualify, but they don't have a Republican. So we need to show that we have a balanced ticket and we're giving everybody an opportunity. So that's why we're going to let her run. Mark my words. I'm not muted, right? Okay, man. Okay, I'm not muted this time. Gosh, finish up.
Interesting. We'll see if she's able to appeal to voters in, as you say, that largely Democratic district, District 5. Angelique Proctor with such good insight and experience covering races like that and the implications of a case like this. Angelique, thanks so much.
There's no way. I'm sorry. And I'm not mad at Fulton County. There's just no way in the world that woman qualifies to run in Fulton County. And Fulton County is not going to buy into it. I'm sorry. Again, I want them to vote differently, but I can tell you this right now. They are not going to fall for the okie doke. Here, let me real quick. This is the young lady that was speaking on it. Let's just hear a little bit more about what I think this is the same thing, but I just want to make sure we get the full orb. This is the election board committee chair. Let's go.
The Fulton County Board of Registration and Elections met to determine whether there's enough grounds to move forward with a challenge hearing for District 5 Commission candidate Tiffany Henyard.
And the reason we are here has to do with residents.
And previously served as a Democratic mayor of Dalton, Illinois, and supervisor of Thornton Township, but lost her re-election bid in 2025.
We have seen a lease for May 1st, 2025. And on that same date, she was also still the mayor of a city in Illinois.
Her time in office drew significant scrutiny, including multiple investigations and lawsuits over spending and governance. Atlanta News First went to Henyard's listed home.
I love when, okay, one of the guilty pleasures is when newscasters go to people's houses and knock on the door. I don't know why that thing cracks me up because they're never going to answer the door, right? It just cracks me up that they do it. I love when they do that. I don't know why. It is just a treat to me to laugh at that. Like people go answer the door.
Address in Fulton County, but no one was there. We did speak with her boyfriend on the Ring camera.
It's all BS. It's just they just BSing. That's all. We've been living in Atlanta for well over a year, so everything that they're doing is bogus.
Henyard has also faced personal legal troubles. A judge recently ordered her to pay $10,000 in back rent and damages after she and her boyfriend were accused of not paying rent on a home in Illinois.
You live there at the house.
Okay.
You can go to the neighbors and ask the neighbors. You can go to the front office and ask the front office.
And back here at the Department of Registration and Elections, Henyard's boyfriend told me that she would be giving me a call, but that hasn't happened yet. Meanwhile, the board voted unanimously to hold a challenge hearing next Friday, April 9th, and invite Henyard to testify on her own behalf. In Fulton County, Adam Murphy, Atlanta News First.
We are just voting to determine today whether or not there should be a challenge hearing.
If they stream that, I will absolutely, I will have to just make that happen. Because I want to see it. I really want to hear her explain how she was the mayor 750 miles away and living there and also living here in Georgia at the same time simultaneously. That's going to be some must-see TV. I need that in my life. Y'all need that in your lives. Shout out. Now, speaking of elections, I'm not going to make this a long day, but speaking of elections, there's been some more drama around the 2020. Yes, I did say 2020 election. But Jason, that was 6 years ago. I know, and they're still talking about it. Okay. Yesterday I told you I didn't understand why Fulton County is fighting for the physical, the physical ballots. Why are they fighting so hard for the physical ballots? Because I didn't realize that the FBI gave them a copy of the physical ballots. They gave them a copy of it. But they want the physical ballot. In some reason or another, I think we know why they want them physical ballots back. But it looks like, as far as I can tell, Fulton County is going to lose this case, man. They are going to have to, the FBI is going to get those ballots and they're going to do whatever they want to do with it. And they're going to find out whatever it is that they've been fighting to not get exposed. Y'all, this is crazy work. Shout out to Paralegal Institute. He was talking about this, so I just copped his segment right here. So let's bring it in. Shout out to Paralegal. Make sure you give him a like right there. The link is down in the description. Let's go.
At that court hearing for the Fulton County 2020 election ballots, it looks like Fulton County is set to lose that court hearing, y'all. Looks like Fulton County is set to not get what it is that they want. So I'm going to be showing you some news clips, and I'm also going to loop in some opinion from a Lawfare article that will give you more legal analysis as to exactly what's going on.
Attorneys representing Fulton County accused the FBI of, quote, callous disregard to get a search warrant that led to them seizing ballots that were cast during the 2020 election. The federal government, meanwhile, says that the county doesn't have enough to support its case.
We're going to continue to fight for democracy, to protect the rights of the voters.
Fulton County Commission Chair Rob Pitt says Friday was a great day.
The Department of Justice didn't even want us to have this time today.
After walking out of a hearing at the Richard Russell Federal Building in downtown.
No doubt in my mind that this is a blueprint. That's what I meant by that, because if they're successful here in Fulton County, they will take this show on the road. And that's why we're going to fight fire with fire. We're going to fight like hell to make sure that that does not happen.
What is it that, again, when you think about it, the election is done, 6 years done. We've already elected a new president. So so that's that's done. Why are they fighting like cats and dogs, or as he said, fighting like hell for the physical ballots? Why is he fighting about the physical ballots? Like, we don't want you to see these physical ballots. And FBI say, hey, I'll give you a copy of them. You can get that copy, my dude. They said, no, we want the physical ballots. Let's find out why.
Here, Lawfare says about last week's hearing, the hearing offered the clearest indication yet of how Judge Boulay might rule on Fulton County's motion for return of property. Although the judge pressed both sides with pointed questions during the proceeding, he appeared skeptical that the county has made a sufficient showing to justify its requested relief. Now, its requested relief is to get the ballots back. So the judge seemed skeptical about giving the county the ballots back. Lawfare goes on to talk about the legal standard that Fulton County argued here. And it goes on to say, to make matters even more demanding for the county, a recent factual development complicated its arguments on the last 2 or 4 factors. So this will be a test that the judge is applying to determine whether or not to give these ballots back. So those factors would be harm and need. Ahead of the hearing, the federal government produced a digital copy of the seized election records, undercutting the county's claims that it requires the physical materials and that continued federal retention of the records causes irreparable harm. So the federal government like, hey, take these copies, Fulton County. We'll keep the original.
The county had filed a motion to get seized ballots from the November 2020 election returned. The FBI served a search warrant in late January when attorneys say investigators took more than 630 boxes of original documents from the county's election hub.
The affidavit that was used to secure the warrant in the first place was full of lies, innuendo, and the same old falsehoods and accusations, the false accusations that have been hurled and levied at Fulton County regarding the 2020 election.
Now, responding to this development during the hearing, Abby Lowell, he's popping up everywhere in this litigation against the administration. Abby Lowell, an attorney representing Fulton County, argued that the county still needs the physical records to comply with open record requests, contending that it cannot authenticate copies without the originals. Judge Boulay appeared unpersuaded. That doesn't seem to be a gigantic issue, he remarked.
Attorneys called on Ryan Macias, an election
administration. What are they going to be doing with them? Like, why do you need to authenticate them? The election is done. The election is done. Like, they make it sound like they're still working on them. Like, ballots are still being cast. Like, dude, we've had a whole new election since then. It's been 6 years.
A security expert who was consulting with the county during the 2020 election.
We were able to get our expert witness to testify and debunk everything that was contained in that affidavit.
Now here, Judge Boulay also quashed a subpoena for the FBI agent who signed the affidavit, which resulted in the search.
A judge denied the county's request to have Special Agent Hugh Raymond Evans, who filed the affidavit, to testify during the hearing. Meanwhile, the federal government argued the county's evidence was, quote, woefully inadequate, and there was no evidence of agents misleading a magistrate judge to secure the warrant. The judge did not make an immediate ruling on the case.
That argument faced a significant setback on the eve of the hearing when Judge Boulay quashed a subpoena the county had issued to Evans himself. Evans is the FBI agent who signed the affidavit, which resulted in the search warrant. Without the agent's testimony, the county had little opportunity to substantiate its claim that the affidavit's omissions were intentional or reckless rather than merely inadvertent, a distinction that is critical not only to showing the search was unlawful, but also to demonstrating the kind of callous disregard required under Rule 41G. So yeah, y'all, in Fulton County, the cast of characters is growing with Tiffany Henyard popping in. And at the same time, it looks like they are probably going to lose their fight. Of course, they'll appeal it, right? Of course, they will appeal it. But while they appeal, if they lose and while they appeal, the FBI still has retention of the records and the investigation continues. So y'all let me know. We have 2 different questions. Do you think Tiffany Henyard will be allowed to run for the commission seat? And do you think she'll win? I guess that's a...
Okay, well, what do y'all think? Do you think Tiffany will be allowed to run? I've kind of voiced my opinion. I want to hear what y'all think. In the chat, what do you think? Do you think she'll be allowed to run? For whatever reason, yay or nay? What do y'all think? Up, down, vote. What do y'all think? I've kind of expressed what I think. You know, I like this, how you said this, Shelby. This might be it. By taking the actual votes gives the government the ability to check those names to see if they're actually registered or American citizens proving illegal activities. You know what? That probably makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay. I like that. Thank you. That was a keen observation. I can rock with that. I'm guessing at this point, you say it would be a logical conclusion to why the government would seize those votes. Right. I just don't understand why Fulton County is fighting for them so much. But I guess if what you're saying, that makes sense. All right, let's see. I thought the stream was scheduled at noon. We're here at 11:30. But what do y'all think? Y'all think that Tiffany will be allowed to run? What do y'all think? And first I want to know, do y'all think she'll be allowed to run? Will the Fulton County Election Board allow her to run, even though with his residency shenanigans, she really hasn't lived here full, in my opinion, a full useful year, not just you have a residence here, but you're actually a participant in the Fulton County machine. You're involved in the community and all that kind of stuff like that. I do think that's far outweighs just saying, well, I'm running for an office. But besides that, though, do you think that she would be allowed? No, they need to forward her to the AG office. Okay. I hope not. I think not. Oh, sorry. I don't think so. Sorry. Yeah, I don't see, to me, I'm like, man, Fulton County, y'all really want this kind of foolishness? I don't think. Now, I don't know if they can do that. Be like, hey, y'all, this is not a good look for us as Fulton County to have her even running. I don't even think she needs to run to protect the county from showing violations of federal and state voter laws. Okay, that's what we're talking about the vote. I like it. Yeah, I don't think that she's going to be allowed to run. I can't see a good reason why. Apart from what I said before about them saying, well, we need a Republican, so we got to say that we had a Republican running. That's the only reason I can see that they would pretend like this makes sense, because we know it doesn't make sense. No, she doesn't fit the requirements. I don't think so at all. And again, hopefully they'll publish that or stream that hearing, because I wouldn't mind tapping in and checking it out with y'all, or at least being able to talk about it later on. It would not surprise me if she was allowed to run. I don't think that I told y'all why I think she would, why they would allow her. I just can't see that happening though. But I got you. I'm with you, Mikey. I'm with you. All right, let's finish this up. What do y'all think about these elections?
A part one and a part two of the first question. And then the second question, who do you think is going to win this fight over the ballots? Will it be Fulton County or will it be the FBI? Let me know what y'all think. Drop a comment down below. But before you do, please stop, hit the share button. Share this video out over email, text message, WhatsApp, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, all your favorite social mediums. And of course,
what do y'all think? What do y'all think? Shout out to Paralegal Institute. The link is down in the description. What do y'all think about that? Do you think there's any possibility that Fulton County will become victorious over the FBI? What do you think about that? Shelby says this, in a blue county, Dems are above the law. Right. But Tiffany Henyard is a Republican, running as a Republican. What you think? What you think? I don't think she's going to be able to run. I don't think that's going to happen. They know they messed up. Oh, you talking about now? Yeah, the voter rolls, I think that they're in trouble. In my opinion, I think they're in trouble. Fighting it is not going to help it. It's just going to drag it out. I hate to say it. They might still be fighting it in 2028. That would be crazy work. But I think that they'll still try to fight it out, but I don't think it's worth it. Shout out to Black Sigma. Says special shout out to Shay of the Late Night Crew, who broke the story on Tiffany doing publicity stunt involving her father. Okay, I know about her father getting shot. I don't know about the publicity stunt. I might need to look into that. But man, that I wouldn't be surprised. Nothing surprises me around Tiffany Henyard. Not a thing. Nothing surprises me. So I'm not shocked by any mean or measure. All right. We're not going to be long. So I want to get to my last point, and this is the longer point. Shout out to Tim Pool. Tim Pool did a breakdown of She Who Shall Not Be Named, Tiffany Henyard, Candace Owens. She kind of reminds me of Tiffany Henyard in a way. Anyway, Candace Owens. He had some really interesting takes yesterday on this. And I thought I'd bring it in. I thought it'd be good for us to have a conversation about this. So let's bring Tim up in here. Tim, get up in here. Let's go, brother. Let's go. Green hearts in the chat when you can hear.
Candace Owens has now called for the acquittal of Tyler Robinson, which I'm pretty sure she did already before, but now everyone's going after her because she made a thumbnail that said, if the bullet does not fit, you must acquit. The story, of course, is that a court filing from the defense says that the ATF was unable to identify the bullet to the rifle. Now, of course, this is due to the fact that it was a bullet jacket fragment and they did not have a complete bullet. Still an incredible stance for the defense. It's the appropriate move, and I commend them. That's exactly what they should be saying. Because even though we understand it is impossible to match because the bullet was destroyed or largely damaged, it's still great for the defense to say, we have doubts. They could not confirm this bullet came from this gun. And that being said, Candace Owens has argued that Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin is a patsy. Here's the thing, guys. She's also said the number 33 is everywhere, which proves it. And that's called, I think it's called epiphania. And it's a symptom of schizophrenia. I'm not being mean. Listen, the woman said that the shooting Tim Pool survived was committed by his brother. That is insane. First of all, I never said I survived the shooting. I've never been present at this building when a shooting occurred. Never said any of those things. But this woman goes on her show and just makes things up. Holy crap. Remember when she thought UTC meant Utah time? Remember when she got hoaxed into publishing the address of her own lawyers? And it turns out they are in a federal building? What? Holy crap. Laura Loomer says she is completely insane. Now listen, stop.
That's saying a lot.
Is it
when Laura Loomer is saying you're insane? Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. You're in trouble when Laura Loomer is calling you out. Let's go.
Right to question the official narrative of the Charlie Kirk assassination? Well, I say how? Yes, of course. Yeah, absolutely. I have a lot of questions. They were individuals that appeared to have foreknowledge of this moment. And I say, yeah, that's suspicious. And it indicates there's more than one person involved. And when the feds are like, nah, we don't, it was just this one guy and he got turned, whatever. No. There are reports of weird vehicles in front of his house. Okay. People posted on social media saying, wait till you see what happens tomorrow to Charlie Kirk and things like that, indicating foreknowledge. Now, at the bare minimum, we could argue that whoever did kill Charlie Kirk, assuming it is Tyler Robinson, the suspect, maybe he told people. The messages between Robinson and his lover seem really strange and fabricated. And I'm going to go ahead and say they seem fabricated. But guys, what is the simple solution here? By all means, you are allowed to speculate. The evidence was fabricated by the government. Perhaps. I'd put it at low probability, and I'd argue this. My perspective, my opinions on what went down here. Robinson was an aggrieved leftist. Charlie Kirk is what got Donald Trump the victory. These people have threatened him with death already. So 1 + 1 = 2, right? Well, what's up with these weird messages? I'll put it like this. I don't think Tyler Robinson acted alone. I think he had assistance. It explains a lot how people knew the vehicles in front of his house. Just 2 big stories, Discord chats talking about it. But what about these strange messages that people say are fabricated? I'd argue, yeah, they look really fake. The message between Tyler Robinson and his lover, where his lover's like, oh no, heavens me, you didn't really do this, did you? Yes, it looks like, in my opinion, Tyler Robinson and his lover, who fled, by the way, I think now may have returned or they know where he is, fabricated those messages intentionally to create doubt. The idea is this. Tyler Robinson and his boyfriend colluded, along with other people, a plan to kill Charlie Kirk because Charlie Kirk is why Donald Trump won, mostly. And so they said, how do we avoid prosecution? If you're going to take the fall for this, if you get caught, how do we make sure none of us do? Well, again, the theory, I don't know if it's true, is that Robinson then intentionally messages, oh, I've done it all by myself and you weren't involved. That way, if it ever goes to trial, the other individuals involved could say, no, look at our messages. This proves we didn't do it. That's why they look weird, because the conspiracy between the 2 actors is that they crafted messages to create reasonable doubt. Not that the FBI fabricated messages, because they don't need to do that. Nick Fuentes chimed in on the Candace Owens stuff saying, oh, right, guys, the Illuminati planted the wrong gun. And he nailed it. He nailed it. Like, what? Here am I. We'll get along with Nick Fuentes. We had him on the show. Don't agree with a lot of his opinions. But in this regard, he is correct. Guys, you really think the Illuminati planted the wrong gun? It is so silly and laughably absurd. But what really nails this one for me is the number 33. Oh, Candace says the number 33 is everywhere. Guys, if you're following this, I have no respect for you. I'm sorry. No. Hold on. Let me pause. Take that back. Absolutely follow this. pay attention. All of that was always allowed. But if you genuinely believe the number 33 is everywhere, you've lost your mind, okay? It's a symptom of schizophrenia. But you know what? It's entertaining. Check this out. Primetimer says she is completely insane. Laura Loomer slams Candace Owens for calling for Charlie Kirk's murder suspect Tyler Robinson to be acquitted. Owens reacted. Okay, here we go. Candace Owens has questioned the investigation into Charlie Kirk's assassination that happened. We know this. She's been doing it nonstop. To this, Owens wrote, "Where are all my neocons who have been overwhelmed by the non-existent evidence against Tyler Robinson? You should all be ashamed of yourselves. Hope the money was worth your soul." Candace Owens also posted a video on our YouTube channel, the title of which, "Prove Me Wrong, Tyler Robinson is a Patsy." She had been repeatedly suggesting that Tyler wasn't the only one who could be held responsible for Charlie's death. Meanwhile, Laura Loomer chimed in saying, "Candace Owens is now calling for Tyler Robinson, the man who killed Charlie Kirk, to be acquitted. She is completely insane, and she truly wants to see Charlie's killer walk free because he chose Erica over her. It's pure evil." Guys, she did post this. If the gun doesn't fit, you must acquit. Oh, smug face. Well, as we actually know, the analysis was inconclusive, okay? What this means is the ATF said, we have a bullet fragment recovered. Can we match it to the gun? No, it's damaged. Okay. Now, don't get me wrong. The defense, it's a great play for them, as I already stated, because the idea is they're going to go and say, if you can't even link the bullet to the gun, how can you claim he did it? And then, of course, other evidence will be presented, like there he is running across the roof. Now, to be fair, you see a guy on the roof. How do we really know it's him? These are all going to be big challenges for the prosecution. And I believe, if anything, what's currently going on is that Candace Owens is sowing doubt, and intentionally, I guess. Here's my conspiracy theory. Candace Owens is deep state. That's why YouTube props her up, and she gets massive millions of views despite breaking the rules.
Okay, you got to stop and listen to this. I got to back this up a little bit, because a lot of people have been asking, why does Candace get away with the stuff that she gets away with? And I want to give them a running start again. Just check this out. And again, I think Tim is right on the money as it relates to her trying to create doubt. But just listen to his thought and, work with it as you see fit.
And I believe, if anything, what's currently going on is that Candace Owens is sowing doubt, and intentionally, I guess. Here's my conspiracy theory. Candace Owens is deep state. That's why YouTube props her up, and she gets massive millions of views despite breaking the rules. YouTube has explicit rules against conspiracy, things that go against authoritative sources. 100%. Alex Jones is banned. Nick Fuentes is banned, but she's allowed. Yeah, I don't buy it. And so, if Robinson is a patsy, Candace Owens is the deep state plant in media that is being propped up to make sure the patsy is acquitted. They needed someone to be the principal suspect, but they don't really want him to go to prison. I'm kidding, by the way. I don't really believe that. I'm just saying, if you want to make up theories and hypotheses, we can go all the way down to Candace Owens' lawyers work in a building with feds. Gee, that's weird. Candace Owens' lawyers work in the same building with a bunch of federal agents, actually. Isn't that weird? That's weird. Just think it's weird. That's just me. Here we go. Candace Owens has claimed the feds are dirty in the investigation related to Charlie Kirk's death. Now, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. Yeah, maybe. Seriously, I mean, it's not like we're saying a portal to hell opened up and a demon came out and chucked a fireball at Charlie, which most people might assume is possible, but I don't think is the case. No, it just is possible that there are other interests that may have taken the life of Charlie Kirk. We don't know. I want to see the evidence. I think it'll be very important. Charlie's real killer. Candace Owens challenges official narrative, says Tyler Robinson is not Charlie Kirk's killer. Heavens me. Here we have Cam Higbee saying, what's more likely? She doesn't know anything about guns. She doesn't know how to read. Well, ¿por qué no los dos? Why not the both? Could be possible. I actually think Candace Owens is a genius. I think she's incredibly intelligent. I have met her. She is very smart, very capable, and she knows how to game systems. People do not accidentally get into these positions of power. Ian was saying on IRL a couple days ago, he was like, I'm smarter than everyone in Congress. And then I was like, everyone was okay, maybe not Thomas Massie. I'm like, bro, you are not smarter than anyone in Congress. And I mean it. AOC is not stupid. The people who want to rag, listen, I'm gonna quote the Harry Potter movies, when Snape goes, Dumbledore's a great wizard. And then, what's her face? Helena Bonham Carter's character is like, and he goes, he is a great wizard and only a fool would say otherwise. The point is, acknowledging the intelligence and capabilities of people you may not like is not, it's the appropriate thing to do.
So here's a question I have, serious question. Let's just go with Tim's premise that Candace is actually brilliant, that she's actually, like, all of this is a ruse. That would mean, yes, the video about her mispronouncing words could very well be fake. She's doing that intentionally and on purpose. Okay. But let's just say that she is smarter than we give her credit for. How do you now address her and approach her and deal with her, since you don't subscribe to the idea that she's crazy and retarded, but that she might actually be really smart and really gaming the system? How do you address her? How do you approach her? How do you move now? Because you're no longer treating her like she's an imbecile, but rather that she's probably even smarter than you. How do you deal with her? How do you approach her? How do you address her claims and all that kind of stuff like that? Now, I don't believe that to be true. I do think that she's probably more ridiculous than anything else. But I do think there is a level of probably a little bit of skit, a little bit of a bit going on some. But how do you move now? Her ad reading plus subscription costs plus what? I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, talking about money. Okay. Okay, you think she's a crazy imbecile? I don't disagree, but I'm just saying, what if she isn't? What if she isn't? I would believe that if not for videos of the past showing her mispronouncing words, I'm not. Now, I've said this before. I think that she was always a leftist and she's been cosplaying for 10 years. So she's been faking the funk for 10 years. Her mispronouncing words, it seems about on brand. She may not be super intelligent. I'm definitely not saying that, but she's obviously very cunning and conniving. There we go. So how do you move now, Snow Bunny Empress, knowing that you're dealing with somebody who's cunning and conniving and might very well be 2 steps ahead of you? What do you do? She knows how to manipulate, no question, no doubt. And again, if you just go back and watch Tim Pool's video where he talks about the Nigerian prince scam, and you lay it alongside this one right here, and you're like, well, maybe she was trying to vet her audience because she knows that smart people are not going to follow her, but crazy people could. So she uses the Nigerian, again, I think it was on the money, that Nigerian prince scam to vet people out of her cult. So the only people in her cult are people who are dumb enough to follow her. And they're going to follow her into oblivion. And now, what are those people doing? They're saying that the bullet doesn't fit. So literally, I'm reading on X, people saying that Tyler Robinson should be freed because the bullet doesn't match. Or they can't make the bullet match. Like, that's crazy work. So nothing else matters except that the bullet doesn't match, so he should be freed. That's crazy work. But that's her fans, though. Those are the same people that fall for the Nigerian prince scam. So I'm just wondering, like, is it, what do you do now that if you consider her to be smarter than she's been putting off? It's fair enough. Okay. Let's see. Her numbers began to fall not long after Iran went into chaos. That's true. That is a very true statement. And I do believe that, her support base is primarily offshore and probably primarily coming from Qatar, Iran area. I can dig that. Absolutely. Okay. I truly believe she is suffering with MH. What's MH? Issues. Oh, mental health issues due to the pregnancies being so close and not giving her body and mind time to process the hormones. Going untreated makes it worse. I can rock with that, Melinda. There's a lot of things here. There are a lot of options, and I don't think any of them can be officially removed off the table. I don't think any of them can without some more. All right, let's finish up with Tim, because Tim had a lot to say here.
If you, like, these people come on, they go, Donald Trump is so stupid. No, he's a billionaire. He turned $1 million into $7 billion. Come on, spare me. You couldn't do that. You'd burn that money to be gone in 6 months. Elon Musk is so dumb. He's got $2 trillion companies. What are you talking about? He's about to be a trillionaire. The man is not stupid. Members of Congress have gamed this system and figured it out. They know how to get positions of power. Got a giant fly in here. So I'm not going to call them stupid. I'm not saying the smartest people in the world. The point is this: Candace is not dumb. She does not accidentally get to this point. She knows how to cast a net over the masses to manipulate them, and it works. Well, it may also just be that she is of average intelligence, but willing to do untoward things. Guys, she may be schizophrenic. That's also a possibility. She could be a high-functioning schizoid. And I'm not trying to be a dick here, but listen to this. Candace Owens flags repeated 33 references in Charlie Kirk murder, calls it cult involvement and deeper story. When you start seeing numbers all over the place and you become fervent and pointing out that the numbers, it's the number. This is called apophenia. It is a symptom of schizophrenia. Now, in some instances, it's not that big a deal. It could be a reference to you buy the Honda Civic, and then all of a sudden you start noticing Honda Civic. That's not really a big deal. That's just because something has entered your mind. But when you get to the point where you're saying 33 is everywhere and it proves the Masons, that's when you're getting to paranoid delusional schizophrenia, meaning you can't differentiate fiction from reality. Let me show you something, guys. Let me show you something from this. Let me see if I think right here. Listen to this. Listen to this.
I would willfully sit on the defense side and say, this person told me that the feds planted the gun. This person
hearsay
told me that the bomb dogs couldn't find it.
Hearsay, not admissible.
How can you sit back and pretend that you are like a friend of Charlie Kirk because you're trying to get a patsy put into prison? Like, you guys are completely monstrous and pretending that you're on the side of morality. There was an overwhelming amount of evidence that the feds set this kid up as a patsy. Okay? Everyone in the town, all the local sheriff departments, the SWAT team, they believe that the feds came in and they started lying and they were sending people on wild goose chase, and they said the gun was here and they said it was over there. There was no gun. They didn't want the bomb dogs to go into certain places. Like I said, I am not getting this information from people that do not have the credibility to assert that. That's how I got the pictures inside of the car. Okay, I am speaking to people with firsthand intimate knowledge, and they
just like firsthand intimate knowledge when they claimed that Egyptian planes were driving to and from a building that housed your own lawyers, and you ran the story where your lawyers work with the feds. Candace, why do your lawyers work in the same building as federal agents?
Why?
Is the story that it's just an office building and the feds have an office in there? That's weird. Actually, I don't think that's normal. I have lawyers. They don't work in a building with federal agents. I have actually many lawyers. They don't work in buildings with federal agents, but that's just me. To be fair, I mean, it could just be a coincidence. Feds might rent an office room, I guess, and then drive black SUVs into the same building as your lawyers, which no one's noticed and you didn't notice and you haven't yet investigated. Curious. Are these the people in the know? Now, I'll give her some respect. She does have some photos, and it is believed that Joe Kent leaked to her, though he denies it. There are certainly people in the know that are sending her these things. But now the number 33, occult magic kingdom. The number 33 is everywhere. Oh, yeah, really? The number 33. What about the number 23? Remember that one? The number 23, which is literally about epiphania, where Jim Carrey goes psychotic because he keeps seeing the number 23 everywhere, and it's meaningless. Heavens me. Epiphania can be considered a commonplace effect of brain function. Taken to an extreme, however, can be a symptom of psychiatric dysfunction. For example, is a symptom of paranoid schizophrenia, where a patient sees hostile patterns in ordinary actions. Epiphania is also typical of conspiracy theories where coincidences may be woven together into an apparent plot. While speaking on her podcast, Candace Owens focused heavily on one detail, the number 33. So the number kept appearing in different updates related to the case. She believes that it's not a coincidence. She played clips to support the point. I'm going to reveal something. One of my credit cards has the number 33 on it.
Get out of here.
That proves it.
That proves
That's
what?
right. I just spent $33 on dinner.
Say word.
Guys, the reality with numbers appearing is that taken to this extreme, this is absolutely a symptom of paranoid delusional behavior. You can find any number you want when you decide, because numbers are commonplace. There are angel numbers and magic numbers, and there's numerology and all of these things. There are people, they say that if it's, when you look at the clock, if it's like 2:22 or 3:33 or 4:44 or 11:11, you make a wish. And then people point out that once they do this, all of a sudden they keep looking at, they hit the clock right at 11:11. The truth is, it's because when you look at a clock, for the most part, your brain largely ignores the data. But when you are focusing on 2:22, 4:44, you'll see the clock passively and then notice right away. For instance, there's a clock in front of me right next to the camera. This is how I know what time it is, and I also time segments and things like that. And so I see this clock nonstop all day, and I never register an image of what time it was when I looked at it. However, if I'm thinking I'm going to see 11:11, the one time I glance at it, I go, hey, 11:11, my brain registers it. And then I'm in the prefrontal cortex, I'm thinking like, whoa, I just saw 11:11.
11:11.
If you can't understand this, so it's like you buy a Civic and then all of a sudden you see Honda Civics everywhere. That's normal human function. But when you're like, yeah, we get it, 33, 33, 33, look, it is my educated opinion, the most obvious signaling ever, alerting those that are in the cult. This was a hit and done by the cult and for the cult. If you believe that because you're seeing an extremely common low-digit number everywhere that proves a cult assassinated Charlie Kirk and are covering it up, you may have paranoid delusions.
Yeah.
Now let me just take it back to Earth. Is it possible a foreign nexus conspired to kill Charlie Kirk? Yes, of course it is. Just don't know. And is it possible the FBI covers this up? Indeed. Why would they do it? A variety of reasons. To prevent an international incident, to prevent war that we're not prepared for. You know, if it turned out that a country, be it Qatar, Israel, Iran, I don't know, whoever you want to accuse, they're accusing Israel, it would be very, very bad for our government, right? So they might cover it up. But does the evidence we have so far prove any of that? No.
No.
That's it. No. And you can question the evidence against Tyler Robinson. That was always allowed. And he may get acquitted, indeed. But it doesn't prove we know what else happened. That's it. You know, I am I as an individual, I don't just blindly believe whatever the news or the police tell me. It's why I never got the COVID vaccine. Whatever. Hey, talk to your doctor. Don't take advice from me. No, actually, that's not true. I talked to my doctor. They told me not to get it, but that's a whole other story. My point is this. Just because I don't trust the government doesn't mean I'm going to come out and say 33 is everywhere. Look at this. They're in the cult that a hit was done by a cult and for the cult. Remarkable. Do you actually believe this stuff? Man, let me tell you this. I know a lot of ladies, and they love Candace. And all I'm going to do is point them to this. I'm going to be like, oh, okay, like 33. That's called paranoid schizophrenia. I'm sorry. Now, doesn't mean she's wrong about everything. I certainly do believe people are leaking things to her.
Sadly, I believe
okay.
that.
But come on, guys. Come on. Go watch the number 23 where Jim Carrey starts seeing the number 23 everywhere. And they're like, dude, it's just that the numbers are everywhere.
That is a crazy movie.
You can see numbers. And if you're looking for a specific number, you'll see it everywhere. It's everywhere. It's 77 degrees right now. Oh, 77. 77's everywhere. No, it's just so dumb. But you know what, man? People like the mystery. And I will say this. I remember when Alex Jones was massive on YouTube. And I knew a lot of people who watched, and they said, I think he's crazy, but it's fun to watch. Fair point. That's why they banned him. I was in Sweden, and I heard these three young guys laughing, and then I heard Alex Jones, and they were watching the video on their phone of Alex Jones ripping his shirt off and going, ah, and like, here I am in Sweden back in 2017, and people are watching this stuff. I think it was 2017. It's entertaining. You know, my boy Robbie, shout out Robbie, He tells me, he's like, well, I don't believe everything she says, but it's really entertaining to watch. It's like a whodunit, like what's going to happen next? You got to see the next episode. And I'm like, indeed. And she's making people threaten Erica Kirk with death. It's psychotic. Well, hey, man, you believe whatever you want to believe. Who am I? I'm just a guy on the internet complaining, and I don't even know what's going to be proven in court or not. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. We'll wrap it up there. Have fun. Smash the like button. Share the show with everyone you've ever met in your life. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all in the next segment.
Shout out to Temple. I just thought that was super interesting. I wanted to give you a chance to check that out. The link for that is going to be down in the description as well, so you can definitely peep it out and get your 2 cents in there and all that kind of good jazz. But let me know what y'all think about it. Today was just a quick, because I'm not going to be able to stream this evening. So I said I would come on real quick for lunchtime, very quickly, go over a couple points that I was going to talk about later on tonight anyway. And I'll save the body cam for tomorrow for Friday Night Lights. So that's the plan tomorrow for Friday Night Lights, to do get all our body cam in and have some good fun. So make sure you check that out for sure. But for real, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Oh, it is a great 33. 1 Corinthians 15:33. Do not be deceived. Bad company ruins good morals. That is a 33 that I think she should look after. I like that, Treva. That's a great one. Shout out for sure. Millennial yells at internet and a new old man yelling at a cloud. I like it. I like it. Watching Candace has made me really stop and evaluate what and who I watch. Very good point. I like it. Thank you so much there. A lot of good commentary going on back and forth. Found an interesting post on X that claims she may have violated law regarding. I think she's doing that. I think she's doing that wholesale. I think she's doing that. If she could give out Tyler Robinson's social security number, I think she would. If she could give out his jail, the jail code to get him out of jail, I think she would. I think she'll do anything to mess this case up. You have to wonder why that is. That's got to wonder. You got to wonder, like, wait, why? I noticed. What did you say here? I noticed that they are putting more energy into discrediting Candace versus asking the court subpoena her to use her evidence. Why? Her evidence was gathered. Her evidence wasn't gathered in a way that could be authenticated. No, that her evidence is not evidence at all. It's just whatever it is. There's nothing. She has no evidence, because trust me, if she had evidence that could prove Tyler Robinson didn't do it, she would already shown it. Notice everything that she shows, all of her evidence is on the tail end or the heels of somebody else. If she thought that Charlie Kirk was killed because of Iran, and she had said that back in October, people might want to look at it. Once Iran happened, then all of a sudden now it's because of that. Because of that. That doesn't make any sense. Now, if she had said that the bullet, she knows emphatically that the bullet didn't match. If she had said that back in, like November, that might have been something different. I know emphatically the bullet does not match the gun. Now, that might have been something different. Or they can't authenticate. I apologize. They can't match it. She didn't say that. She just talking about a 30-06 didn't do it. That's not the same thing. So her information is not, I don't think she has information. I think she just gets whatever you put out there and she just starts riffing off of that. That's my 2 cents. But I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for rocking with me. It's a lot of hearsay. Here's that. Yeah, because a lot of that a lot of stuff that she puts out there, it is hearsay. Somebody told me. All of the police force told me. Really? Everybody in the town told you that? Stop and think about what you just said. Okay. So anyway, I think that was good. Y'all, thank you so much. Knock yourself out. Please do. Absolutely. The links to all this is down in the description. Feel free to check it out. Yeah. She always says no one is telling her anything, which is a good point. But all of a sudden she says she has information. So what is it? Which one is it? Pick your struggle, Candace. She has called multiple people out for debate and no one has stepped up yet. Yes, she would. I don't think so. No, she won't. I'll say that emphatically because she was invited to TPUSA. Why doesn't she go to TPUSA and debate them? If she has all of she has all the cards. She has all of the winning hand. Why don't you go there and debate? Why do they have to come to you? I just wonder. Sound like you don't actually have everything. What's up with Q? Shout out to Q in the building. Fulton County is having a prelim hearing on Tiff's potential fraudulent attempt to run for commissioner. Right, next week, I'm going to try to tap in on that. So if it's available, I'll bring you, we'll all watch it, or I'll definitely do a recap if I can. Shout out. Thank you so much, Q, for that. Yeah, she won't debate anybody. She'll say it. She'll say it till the cows come home, but she won't do it. Like, yeah. If she would debate anybody and she knew that she had the winning formula and she had all of the facts in her favor, she would be all over America debating. She would be everywhere debating. But where is she? In her basement, talking loud, just like me. Good people, I appreciate y'all. Right, there was the $60,000 debate. Matt Walsh. Is it Matt Walsh? Was it Matt or Crowder? I don't remember who it was. She didn't debate him. That's what I know. So no, she won't debate anybody. She can say it till the cows come home. She's called these people out to debate. Never debated her. I promise I watch Candace Owens every day. She called it, well, okay. All right, no problem. That's fine. Everybody's running from her. Everybody's fleeing from Candace. Got you. Everybody's running from her. I got you. Oh, was it Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder? Multiple times said that they would debate Candace on X and to her. LOL, she won't do it. But no, remember, as Damien said right here, everybody's running from her. So everybody's running from Candace, and that's it. Everybody's running from her. I appreciate y'all. Okay. Y'all have a fantastic rest of the day. Happy Monday, Thursday. Happy Good Friday on tomorrow. I plan to be back tomorrow, so we can definitely do our body cam and Friday night lights and that kind of good jazz. I will not be on Saturday, and I probably will not plan on being on Easter Sunday, Resurrection Sunday. But Lord willing, we'll be back. I will be dropping some videos though, but I plan not to be back on Easter Sunday. So anyway, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Lord willing, have a great rest of the day. Work hard, do all that great stuff. Make sure you hit the like button, tip your waiter on the way out the door, hit those green hearts, all that kind of good jazz. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure that you subscribe. We be doing this, man. So I'm hoping I've won you over. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you all real soon. Everybody, grace and peace. Take care. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.